century on Friday, the beginning of the most terrible conflict the world has ever known. 60 years ago next week, Germany invaded Poland. An entire nation was wiped from the map in a few weeks' time. Indeed, World War II brought civilization to the brink of extinction. As many as 70 million people would die before it was over, nearly 6 million of them in Poland alone. Peter Jennings tonight on how the killing began.
Tonight, the start of World War II.
The first impression was this complete unreality and horror, absolute horror.
Warsaw was terribly bombed. It was a terrible situation. The whole Warsaw was on fire.
In the history of the last 100 years, one event stands out as more significant than any other. The devastating armed conflict that began when German troops marched across the Polish border on September the 1st, 1939. Tension over Poland had been building throughout 1939. In the year's early months, the German leader Adolf Hitler had conquered the Czech Republic without a fight. Then in early August, he signed a sinister non-aggression pact with the Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, including secret language allowing for the division of Poland between Germany and the Soviet Union. The atmosphere in Europe, according to one American diplomat, was like being in a house where you know someone upstairs is dying. There is little to do, and yet the suspense continues unabated. In the early hours of a September morning, the suspense broke.
We heard this tremendous noise. The trees started bending, and we saw these huge planes with black markers, pretty much at the tree tops.
The German victory would be relatively simple.
The Poles fought bitterly and desperately. Of course, it was easy for a modern army like the German army. We, in tanks, were being attacked by Polish cavalry. Can you imagine?
In the 20 years since World War I, the sophistication of military machinery had grown dramatically. The German strategy was one of relentless onslaught on the ground and in the air. They called it blitzkrieg, which included the heavy bombardment of civilian targets for maximum terror.
We just rolled on and kept rolling.
The Polish frontier caved within hours.
They announced that the town has been liberated, that we don't have to worry about anything, that we're now going to be part of the Great German Reich.
And then the push was on to the capital, Warsaw. With the news of the invasion reaching round the world, the British and French declared war on Hitler. But for the people of Warsaw, 1/3 of them Jews, it was much too late. Thousands of German soldiers who had left Berlin in railway cars, emblazoned with caricatures and the words, "We're off to Poland to thrash the Jews," now descended on the Polish capital. The attack on the ground and from the air was relentless. The music of the Polish composer Frédéric Chopin was played on the radio as a signal to Poles that the nation had not given up. But on September the 27th, less than a month after it had begun, the invasion was complete. Chopin went off the air. The German anthem, Deutschland über alles, replaced it. In the next few weeks, German soldiers went door to door, murdering 200 people a day. Teachers, intellectuals, doctors, clergymen, and of course, the Jews. The challenge to the rest of the world was now total. Stop Germany, or else the world would never be the same. History's greatest armed conflict was underway.